This is a Gatso camera. This is a magazine of 35mm film. This is the radar control unit, which is connected to the camera and the radar unit. When the radar detects that someone has gone faster than the threshold speed, then it will activate the camera to take the true exposures.
They're placed where there have been fatal road traffic collisions or serious injury road traffic collisions, or in villages where there are public concerns from the community, and there is a strict criteria as to where and when they can be placed. They're always parked in the open where they can be clearly seen by people, motorists, pedestrians, and the idea is that people reduce speed. Our role is to reduce the speed on the public roads, not to hide and catch people out.
The information we can capture on video would be that we could actually identify if it's a male or a female driver. Obviously the speed that they're actually travelling, the distance, and everything is recorded on video. The information is downloaded and then the video is sent to the central ticket office.
We all know of someone who's been seriously injured or killed in a car crash. Today we've almost come to accept death on the roads as a part of everyday life, a risk we're aware of but something we feel we can't do anything about. And tragically, many of us have personal experience of stories just like Chrissy's. But the greatest tragedy is that so many of the thousands of people who will die this year on Britain's roads could be saved, if only we'd all just slow down.
Yeah, Rachel started speaking. She started speaking in November, which is what, 10 months after the accident, is it? Or 8 months after the accident. She's had to learn to speak again. You know, her mind sometimes is like a 3-year-old, and then other times it's like a 14-year-old. She's still the same loving, lovely Rachel that she was, and she's still got her good sense of humour. You know, I feel quite humble when I see all these children that have been injured by speeding cars. You know, Rachel's not the only one, there's others. And they've got a smile for everybody every day. You know, and it makes you wonder what it's all about.
You hear many comments and excuses from members of the public in relation to excess speed.
What happened was, I had this ice scraper right on the dashboard. And going around the corner, it fell, got caught under the accelerator. Nothing I could do.
I was joining the motorway at such a fast rate. I got caught up in the slipstream of this lorry, and it sort of pulled me along.
My son's budgie, we thought he was having a heart attack. So obviously, under the circumstances, I had to rush him to the vet as soon as possible.
Well, I had this dodgy burger at the match, and I was a bit desperate for the gents. So what else could I do? I put my foot down and drove to the nearest services.
What we have to say to that is, even by driving only a couple of miles over the speed limit, you are breaking the law in this country, and obviously the risk then is increased in relation to being involved in a collision, and with that risk also then comes the threat of either serious injury being caused or death.
You might think that driving a few miles over the limit doesn't make a difference, but it does. One of the biggest challenges safety camera partnerships face is reminding people exactly what's involved in having to stop your car quickly if you need to. It's so much easier to stop your car and avoid an accident if you're travelling at slower speeds.
Remember, seeing a hazard on the road is one thing, but reacting to it is another. The faster you drive, the less chance you've got to react to hazards. If you're travelling at 30 miles per hour in a built-up area and you react immediately, it'll still take you 6 car lengths to actually stop your vehicle.
Remember, your car won't stop the moment you put your foot on the brakes. Slowing down by just a few miles an hour might mean you can stop in time and avoid hitting someone in the road.
We see every day the results of people driving carelessly, excessive speed and so on. And when you turn up at these accidents, obviously there's a scene of devastation. It's all very well having airbags and other safety features, but you also must remember the other road user as well.
He was 17 in October the 6th in 2001, and he passed his test on the 8th of January 2002. And his accident was actually in August. It was 8 months after, August the 18th. So it was a last-minute arrangement that he went out with a friend of his to celebrate the friend's 17th birthday. And they went to Bristol, and I spoke to him for the last time that afternoon, and he said that he was going out, and I said, yeah, that was fine. It was better than him driving all the way home. And it was on the way home from Bristol, which was in the early hours of the morning, going too fast, and overcorrected the car and just flipped over a couple of times, landing on his side. He was killed, so I'm told, instantly. His friend didn't have a mark, thank God. He got out of it, he was okay. I think, as Daniel, as with most youngsters, do not believe how life is so easily taken away, and just going too fast. The car is a machine, and to control it you have to be quite able, and the least bit of distraction or whatever, and speed, particularly speed, is of paramount importance, and experience as well, and not taking it that you're invincible and that you can do whatever. Your life is there 1 minute and gone the next.
For everyone's sake, try and remember these tips next time you're out on the road. It may save somebody's life.
Driving a car is potentially the most dangerous thing you do every day. When you get in the car and you're driving, be calm. If another car comes up close behind you, don't speed up just because he's going fast.
You don't have to travel at the speed limit. The speed limit's the fastest you should be travelling by law.
Remember the speed limit for the location you're in, the type of road you're on, the type of vehicle you're driving. The speed limit is 30 unless otherwise stated. Remember that and you stay safe.
Keep your music turned down. If you do this, you can hear the horns of other cars and emergency vehicle sirens that might come past you.
Keep your mobile phone switched off. Try it as part of a routine. For instance, put your seatbelt on, put your mobile phone off.
This sign means that the speed limit is 60 miles an hour on a single carriageway. However, on a dual carriageway, the speed limit is 70.
The 2-second rule is a rule that all drivers could put into practice by making sure that the gap between yourselves and the vehicle travelling directly ahead of you is 2 seconds or more.
Country roads aren't like any other roads. Most people think they're safe because there's less traffic on those roads. However, more people are killed on those roads than any other roads.
On country roads, make sure you slow down for bends. And if you don't know the area, always assume that there's going to be a sharp bend ahead of you.
Never take the racing line on a bend. You never know what's coming in the opposite direction.
Yeah, there are limits for a reason, and people need to get in their car and think about what they're doing, watch their speed, and keep within the speed limit. Those cameras and those limits are there to protect all of us from people that are stupid enough to think that they can speed and constantly get away with it, because sooner or later it will catch up with you, and sooner or later you will hurt somebody.